Man. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds show. Game of the week is Ole Miss at Florida. Had some people that were mad at me that I did not ask Tom Luganbill about the Missouri-Mississippi State game. That we basically went all Ole Miss Florida and then bounced around some other ideas. I may have dropped the ball there. I mean, look, I'll give you a quick rundown on this before I get into this article on Bloody Marys, okay? Which is going to be much more interesting than where I'm going to go, but this is what we do for a living. So good morning, welcome in. I'm the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, and we'll say this diatribe is brought to you by the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit at Burgers Blues Barbecue in Dogwood, Flowwood. And then an unbelievable burger, mouth-watering burger or blue plate at Burgers Blues Barbecue for lunch. Watch out there, Ace. Jackson almost knocked down our Tito's chalkboard that has the same saying written on it from 6 years ago that Blake wrote on there. But it's still awesome.
Yeah.
And do I need to turn the air down?
Nah, man, it just gets a little toasty in here sometimes.
Yeah, I can't. The AC system's totally whacked.
Blood's getting hot. Thinking about the terrible college football playoff teams.
All right, blue plate specials at Burgers Blues Barbecue, and mouth-watering burgers and fried pickles, and their pulled pork nachos and their onion rings. Burgers Blues Barbecue, Dogwood, Flowwood.
No
what?
Dirty Bird mentioned?
Dirty Bird.
Come
right,
on.
you got to get it fried.
Got
you
to.
get the Dirty Bird wrap, and it's one of the best sandwiches in the state of Mississippi. If you get the Dirty Bird wrap at Burgers Blues Barbecue in Dogwood, Flowwood, the white barbecue sauce is really good. But I asked them to take that off, and I get it with a comeback, and then you get it with onion rings, so that you can dip your Dirty Bird wrap in your side of comeback, but also the onion rings.
Just win.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Burgers Blues Barbecue, Dogwood, Flowwood. Now, so here are my thoughts real quick. I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know. Missouri is a better football team than Mississippi State. Mississippi State is the worst team in the league right now. They can change that in one offseason, the way that college football is set up this day and age. Brady Cook has been limping around for the majority of the season. They're very, very, very talented quarterback, maybe the most talented quarterback in the league, but he's been hurt all year. The guys that have played the best year to date are Dart and Milroe. But back to Missouri and what you've got coming in. Missouri's better. They're better in the line of scrimmage. They've got more NFL players, and they've got a coach that's been a head coach longer than Jeff Lebby. I mean, 3 years from now, Jeff Lebby may be considered a really good head coach. Right now, the learning curve is steep, and they don't have the talent that they need. Can they win? Sure. That's why you got to play it out. That's what we've witnessed all season. Are they capable of winning the game? Yes. Where would I set the percentage? Maybe 30%. So I would go Missouri 70-ish, Mississippi State 30-ish. Feel free to disagree with me on the Mac Hike Auto Group text line, 601-885-3776. I think Missouri will have to give you the football, and you'll have to play a clean game on offense with a true freshman quarterback in Michael Van Buren, who is talented and has played pretty damn well, but is still, massive learning curve playing as a true freshman in this league. His offensive line is average. His running backs are average. And he's got a couple of pieces at wide receiver. And Lebby is a good play caller. Right. You'll have to be so buttoned up and damn near perfect, or Missouri comes in, and when I say they have to sleepwalk and play their C game, then you could you could be there in the fourth quarter, and you could either be within striking distance or a tie game or a close game. So that's my thought. Those are my thoughts on Missouri at Mississippi State. For those of you who were texting me that I didn't cover that game with
Come on.
Tom Luganville. Now, if y'all have listened to the show, y'all know that Cigar Aficionado is my favorite magazine, and we've had David Savona and others that are affiliated with Cigar Aficionado, and they write these awesome lifestyle stories. And we're sports and entertainment, and Cigar Aficionado is cigars, sports betting, golf, and, of course, they've had all kinds, Charles Barkley, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, Dustin Johnson, and many, many others featured in their magazine. Featured on the cover this month is Brett Baer from Fox News. That's not what I want to talk about. In the, it is a good article, by the way, his story and so on. But in the article, in the magazine, there's an article, Let There Be Bloody Mary. And we talk about Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary games, and the Tito's Vodka, part of their sponsorship, I think y'all picked up on this over the years, is I name I reference the 11 a.m. kickoffs or noon kickoffs as the Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary game. Like this weekend, Ole Miss, right? I mean, you got to get the grill going. You got to get the deer sausage on.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get the gumbo going. Maybe you're going to do a brisket. You got to get going early because the Rebs kick off at 11 a.m. our time, and that's the Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary game. And they love that. And if they love it, then I love it. And I love them. I'm talking about my Tito's guys out of New Orleans.
Right.
But did you know that this cocktail really didn't come about until the 1920s, which was after the cocktail boom? I did not realize that. And maybe there's a little bit of a fight as to when it was established between Paris and New York. But one bartender kind of tripped over it when he didn't have some oranges and apples, and he had to go with tomatoes. You know, tomato juice was not prevalent like it is. I mean, you can find tomato juice anywhere, right? You can go to any grocery store and you can pick up some type of tomato juice. But now we actually have Bloody Mary mix, like Steve Azar rolled out his Bloody Mary mix, which is all over Pearl River Resort. Well, it started off the basic formula, as I think some of y'all know, 4 ounces of tomato juice, 2 ounces of vodka. We recommend Tito's. 1/4 of an ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I can remember my dad doing that growing up when they'd have people over to the house before going over to Veterans Memorial Stadium. 2 dashes of Worcestershire sauce and 3 dashes of Tabasco sauce and a pinch of salt and pepper. That's it. I mean, and who knew that we would use, you know, Worcestershire sauce for steaks,
Yeah,
and other things. Now today, a Steve Azar Bloody Mary mix or a Zing Zang has all that in it. Now you can doctor it with more pepper. I like to do a little bit of Jeff Jonesy Q's calling it something else now, but I like to call it. I like to do a little love rub from Jonesy Q on the top. Give it a little, and then we go with the okra, pickled okra, bacon. A lot of people put deer sausage in it. You know, toothpick, deer sausage, olives, celery, pickled green beans, shrimp. Nick Fulton with USA Pawn came in here one year. You remember that?
I do.
You were actually here.
I was.
And I don't know how much food he had in that Bloody Mary, but it was an entree.
He just kept putting stuff
And
in.
he had shrimp and sausage as garnishes. And to me, the garnish is so important when you're Bloody Marying.
Key.
You know? Brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Good morning. Welcome in. We're going to have Jake Mangum on the show.
Nice.
He just texts back. So I'll tell you when. And then we're going to have Carl Johnson, director of the sports book, for the Beau Rivage. For the Beau Rivage. MGM Beau Rivage on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Carl Johnson, director of the sports book at 9:30 on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. You know my theory with a Bloody Mary is to get a beer, that's kind of an amber beer or an Oktoberfest. Or you can even go like Key City Moonchild, which is a darker beer, stout type deal. But you want to do a shot of that on the Bloody Mary, and it kind of levels out the acidity. Some of it does. Some of y'all, it doesn't bother you. I'm not a 2 Bloody Mary guy. I'm a half to 75% of a Bloody Mary mate. You know what I'm saying? Something that I kind of want, and then I get into it, and I get about halfway through, maybe 3/4 of a way through it, and then I'm on to something else. But I admire those people. I have watched it many a times, and it blows me away. People that can go for that second Bloody Mary. That's impressive. I think the first half is fabulous. I also think that's where you're dipping the, pickled okra or bacon into it. So you're having your appetizer, you're having your experience with your Tito's, a Bloody Mary. But I was reading this, article in Cigar Aficionado, and let there be Bloody Mary. And the drink with the glory name is festive. Daybreak crowd pleaser that can be vodka's best friend. But why did its sunrise take so long? I did not realize this. Y'all may have. But it brought together 2 ingredients, obviously. Tomato juice and vodka. For starters, 1917 is known to be the year when tomato juice was first publicly served as a beverage. I mean, what do you think? Somebody just text celery salt. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. That's why I mentioned the Love Rub from Jones EQ, which is now named something else. But if you put a couple of dashes of that on top at the very end, you're going to be in a good spot. I do not need salt on my rim. That's not my thing. Whether it's a margarita, I just don't like salt that much salt, condensed, whatever. That's not my thing. So there are bars who do it. A lot of times the bartender will ask you if you want, either whatever kind of mix they have or a salted rim. And I don't want one for a margarita either. But I only drink margaritas like in here if Nathan is making one, or someone like Brian Eisenhood at the Briar Patch, or JC at the Briar Patch, where I know it's fresh ingredients.
What you're saying is quality.
Yeah, I'm not going to drink some garbage margarita. That's nasty. And it's, my stomach's not up for that.
Depends on the day. Cinco de Mayo comes around, man. It's a
what?
It's an all-out brawl.
It's an all-out brawl?
Inside my stomach, yes.
If it's Cinco de Mayo, I can just do a Patron Paloma and be just as happy.
Yeah,
Paloma has really been my cocktail of 2024. Tequila. Paloma.
It's not a bad.
It's fresh. In fact, Brian Eisenhood makes a great one. We had a conversation about it. He says it's just a great go-to drink. It's light. It's fresh. It's not heavy. It's not those crappy margaritas that you drink. And I'm just giving you a hard time.
Of course.
Oh, Jake Mangum's going to join us.
Yes.
And right now. How about that? The Hit King. Let's do this thing. You can watch the show on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. I'm sorry, I got lost in this. Man, you give me a cigar aficionado and a cup of coffee and Aliados original blend, and I'm out for a while. So everybody's got their own thing, and that's mine. But that's a good article on Bloody Marys and Cigar Aficionado this month. And Brett Baer's on the cover. I got to know a little bit more about him in Fox News. We're going to have the Hit King on, Jake Mangum, and looking forward to that. He's going to be on the phone. He'll join us in studio over the holidays. We'll get him in studio before he goes down to South Florida. You can watch the show on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. And the news broke yesterday that the Rays, Tampa Bay Rays, add Jake Mangum to the 40-man roster. And we want to welcome in the Hit King, Jake Mangum, to the Out of Bounds show on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Jake Mangum, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Bo? Long-time listener. I think 10th time caller. Good to hear you. Good to hear from you, man.
I love it. Where are you, man? You in Starkville?
Yeah, I'm in Starkville for this week. I was in Rankin County last week and just kind of bouncing back and forth between Pearl and Starkville, man. Just the normal off-season stuff. Got
to see the fam, I guess, in Rankin County, and they'll be coming up to see you this weekend. So tell me, how did this happen? Where were you? How did you find out that you'll be added to the 40-man roster for the Rays?
Well, I mean, and I guess it's a great something I've been looking forward to and hoping for a long time. The 40-man roster is kind of the major league team has a 26-man roster during a normal game. So there's, but the 40-man roster is combined maybe one or two guys in Double A and the rest AAA, sometimes all AAA. But this is it just gives me better opportunity to get up to the big leagues, man. It kind of frees you up a little bit. But I was on hole number 2 at Old Waverly and got the call, man. And I know I told my mom this yesterday, but I had a ladybug fly on my golf cart at the tee box of hole number 2, and then in the fairway of hole number 2. Yes, I found the fairway on hole number 2. Not many other holes, but on hole 2, I found the fairway. And yeah, man, got the call right there. It was awesome.
Dude, that is so cool. So
yeah, man, and I know for anyone that's kind of kept up with me over the years of baseball, they typically know my mom's deal with the ladybugs, and yeah, dude, ladybug kind of flew right there on the golf cart, landed on the windshield of it, and got a call right there. It's kind of crazy, and I know my mom will never let me stop hearing that one, but really cool little deal right there.
All right, so shout out to Stacy, Jake's mom. And we're visiting with Jake Mangum, the Hit King, and he finds out yesterday. Now this is cool. One of the coolest golf courses in the Southeast, in the country, really. Old Waverly. Jake's on number 2. Ladybug flies on his. What'd you say? Golf cart or golf bag?
Golf cart.
Love it.
The windshield of it. Pretty crazy, man.
God. And then, so you took a call from somebody. Who called you in the organization?
Oh, there was a couple guys on the call, but man, it's a cool deal, man. Really cool deal. I didn't see it coming. I didn't, because yesterday was the deadline. Yesterday was the deadline for the 40-man going into the business side and the winter meetings and I don't know, just for whatever. Yesterday was the deadline. So if it didn't happen yesterday, it wasn't going to happen this off season. I just after a couple phone calls, I didn't think it was going to happen. So yesterday I kind of woke up thinking I didn't even think about it. And I was just like, not getting added. It'll be all right. We'll keep moving. We'll keep working. But yeah, dude, got the call. Added me to the 40-man. Now I still got to go to camp and play good at camp, and which doesn't mean I'm on the big league team yet, but it means I'm on their roster. So opportunities there. Just got to go take it.
And what time of day? What time were you on number 2 at Old Waverly yesterday, roughly?
Oh, about 1:30.
Okay. All right. And were you playing with the group, or how did that? Yeah,
Kyle Bales and Denver McQuarrie, my old roommate and my old teammate at Mississippi State.
Yes.
And yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, so 2 good buddies of mine, and we were out there and got the call, man. Pretty cool deal.
Now, how was your golf game yesterday?
Not very good. I was all over the place. My phone started blowing up a little bit.
Once it hit Twitter?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's crazy how Twitter works, man. Once it hit Twitter, my phone started blowing up, and Facebook.
Okay,
I'll say that too.
Yeah, I saw. I didn't see it till a little bit later, maybe in the afternoon.
I haven't been on Facebook in forever, but a lot of people reached out and said they saw it on Facebook. I don't know, just wherever you get your social media stuff.
Sure.
It's crazy how stuff spreads on social media. But, man, it's really very excited. Just
You should be. You've worked your tail off, man.
Yeah. It's, I'm fired up about it. We just got to go. We got to keep working, man. This sitting, getting added to the 40-man. It's a step in the right direction, but it's still not the goal that we set out for. So we still got some work.
Sure. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds show, brought to you by two brothers in Starkville, Mississippi. And he found, all right, so this is an unbelievable story. Mangum finds out yesterday he's at Old Waverly, which is one of the coolest spots in the Southeast. He's playing golf with two good friends. He's on hole number 2. A ladybug flies on the windshield of the golf cart, which is tied into his mom, and then he's added to the 40-man roster for the Tampa Bay Rays. Do you know, like, you already go down there early? I know that.
Yeah, I got a January camp, so I'll be heading down January 7th, travel day. January 8th, we'll have a very light camp that starts rolling. Major League camp will start probably February 8th.
Wow, you're going down earlier.
After that January camp, I'll have like a 2-week window where I can either come home or stay down there. It's kind of just, we'll see where we're at. But I'll probably come back. I'd like to get back and watch a couple of these basketball games in January, especially in SEC play that time of year. So I'll come back for a week or two. Then we'll get rolling full swing in February. But got to head down in January for a little bit.
What was it like living in Durham and this? I mean, you had a great year this past summer, but what was that like being in North Carolina?
I tell everybody that's baseball fans around anyone from anywhere, when I meet a baseball fan, I say, you got to go to Dudy Noble. You got to go to Dudy Noble and experience that. You got to go experience a primetime Dudy Noble game before, it's a bucket list thing. Durham, North Carolina is also one of those places. It's unbelievable. It's the best minor league stadium, best minor league atmosphere you can possibly get on a nightly basis. I'd say on average I'd say it's Durham, no question. It was awesome, man. The community loves baseball. I don't know if it has something to do with the movie or just that I don't know, but Durham Bulls from the movie Bull Durham, like,
sure,
fan base eats it up, man. We get 10, 11,000 pretty much every single night. Pretty crazy for AAA baseball.
What?
Yeah, special place to play. Loved it. Lived in downtown Durham, right behind right field. Walked to work every day. The downtown area in Durham, so clean. So, a lot of things to do, a lot of places to eat. Fantastic. Really, as good of a minor league experience as you can possibly have.
So they pack the park almost every night, Jake Mangum? That's awesome.
No doubt. It's they eat it up, man. They eat it up, and it was awesome to play for.
Jake Mangum joining us on the Out of Bounds show. He's on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. This segment is brought to you by Two Brothers' new sister restaurant, Older Brother Bistro. Best Reuben, muffaletta, shrimp po' boy that you will have. Jake Mangum finds out that he'll be on the 40-man roster for the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday on hole number 2 at Old Waverly. That's super cool. He had a great summer in Durham, hit like 320, was player of the year, all that kind of stuff. And now he'll be on the 40-man roster. You got a question?
Yeah.
All right, Jackson Meadows, come on in here and ask the Hit King.
I got to ask about the ladybug, right?
Oh, you want to know the tie between the ladybug and Stacy?
Obviously, it's superstitious, right?
Jake, do you have superstitions, my man?
I try to stay very far away from superstitions.
Very
far. But now, look, if I have a good game and I ate this breakfast, do I go eat the breakfast the next day? Sure. You want to call that superstition? I don't know. But the ladybug deal is when I was in college, it kind of started coming about with my mom, especially during like the Vanderbilt Super Regional and stuff like that. But no, honestly, before that, man, my great grandmother, when she passed away, my mom was cleaning out her house, and there were just the only thing left was ladybugs. I'm pretty sure. You should have my mom come on and tell that story. She would eat it up. But ladybugs has always been my mom's thing. It's my mom's thing of just God telling her that her grandmother, my great grandmother, is with her. Like, she's with you. She's always with us, and God's with us, and all that stuff. And there's just I used to kind of make fun of her a little bit, not make fun of her, but just like, Mom, you're a little crazy. But you're a little crazy.
But if it works, it works, right?
But I'm just saying with the ladybug stuff, like, she would yeah. But dude, just time and time again, just God's kind of been showing us that, like, He's with us, and my great grandmother, just I think the ladybug is just kind of something in our family that God uses to talk to us a little bit, and
that's cool.
And it flies.
I know. I'm sure that sounds crazy to some people, but it's been enough times now in situations where I'm just like, all right, I hear you. I'm just gonna listen now, and
it's a fantastic story, and the fact that one flew on your golf cart windshield yesterday before the Tampa Bay Rays call you while you're at Old Waverly is unbelievable. We're visiting with Jake Mangum.
In season, I was going through a slump. Father's Day rolls around.
No way.
I was going through a tough time. Father's Day rolls around. On my wrist tape, I got, Dad, Dada, my mom's dad, and then Big John on the other. Just cool stuff. Ladybug flew on my wrist tape where my grandparents and Dad's name were. It's just I could sit down and talk to you all day about just some weird stuff with that. But yesterday was just another little gobwink thing, man. Really cool.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it kind of blew me away. I was sitting there with my buddy Kyle. He was driving the golf cart, and I was like, "Hey, dude, look, ladybug." Like, kind of pointed it out, and I was like, "Stacy, be fired up right now."
And then you get a call.
Yeah.
All right. When the call comes up on your phone, did you say, okay, that's an area code from Tampa or South Florida, and oh my gosh, this could be the call?
It's from Covington, Louisiana.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And well, see, the Rays have staff all over the place.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
did you take it or let it go to voicemail?
I missed it.
Okay.
You were probably chipping her.
My second shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was taking my second shot, and then got in the golf cart, had a missed call, called him back. I didn't do that. I really didn't see it coming. My agent kind of told me it wasn't looking good for yesterday's deadline. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, kind of, it's all right. We've been through this. We'll be all right. We'll keep going. And they called me, man. Kind of took me, my agent, my family by surprise. There ain't no doubt about that.
Dang. That is awesome. Okay, this is super cool. We're visiting with Jake Mangum. He is now on the 40-man roster for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's worked at it, had unbelievable success his whole life, the last few years. Had a great season with the Durham Bulls. He just shared that story of how committed and gung-ho that fan base is. And now he'll be on the 40-man roster. He'll head out in January. Now, let's switch gears. Got a couple of minutes here. You mentioned hoops. How much fun are you having watching Josh Hubbard and Cam Matthews ball out for Jans?
I'm having a blast, and I highly recommend that any Mississippi State fan in the state of Mississippi, or Noah Mashburn comes from Birmingham. I just highly recommend that you support this basketball team, men's and women's. We got two great basketball teams right now. I'm not trying to be some like salesman or anything, but like really like where our athletics are at Mississippi State right now. I really, really do. I like what Levy's building. I think football is going to be in a great spot very soon. Soccer, fantastic. Men's, women's basketball, freaking awesome right now. Go support them. This basketball team, I was just in South Haven against Utah.
Nice.
Man, awesome game. What they showed in that game, coming out slow in the first half and coming out in the second half, just electric. Showed me that they're going to win some games that are tight down the stretch. We have so many shooters, so many different options. I mean, we got like 8-9 guys that can be in our starting five any given night. We've had 4 games, 4 different starting fives. Pretty electric, man. We got Hubbard's one of the best players in the country, and he's got help around him. It's really cool, man. Fired up about this basketball team. Fired up.
Yeah, down double digits on Sunday and come back against a good Utah team. I agree with you, man. So impressed with the way Hub came out in the second half, and then at the end, Matthews burying free throws to make sure to put it to bed. Those are 2 alphas and leaders. You know all about that. And they've got some nice pieces with Melendez and Harris and Clary and Kugel and so on. Oh, and Keyshawn looked good. Murph looked good over the weekend. I think he'll just get better because he's been hurt the last 3 years, so hopefully he stays healthy.
Yeah, Murphy had 18 points, 13 rebounds against Utah. That was
good grief,
dude. Yeah, if we can get that out of him, man, there's no telling what we could do. And then Cam, 5th-year senior, he goes 5 for 5. He missed the last one, so he was 5 for 6, but he was 5 for 5 in the last 6 free throws. That was for him to do that.
Clutch.
Yeah, dude. Without even him saying anything, for him to do that, that just shows you that he's been working his tail off, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
That dude's been working. And for him to have that success in a big neutral site game, I know it was South Haven against Utah, but it's still neutral site. And for that to be a neutral site game, man, that was a big deal.
Well, look.
Friday they're at Dallas, at SMU. Women's basketball's got a game tonight at home. But Friday night they're at SMU. That's gonna be the first true big road test. So we need to watch them. Hopefully they do well. I can't make it out to Dallas, but need to watch them.
Well,
my buddy Andrew Lula's making it out to Dallas though. So we got some people rolling out to Dallas. So it'll be good.
I love it. Hey, Jake Mangum, thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll get you in studio in the month of December, and congratulations. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Thanks, Bo. Y'all have a great day.
See you, buddy. The Hit King, Jake Mangum, on the 40-man roster for the Tampa Bay Rays. He joined us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line, and that interview was brought to you by Mississippi's College Town. That's where Jake Mangum is. It's where he works out in the offseason. Obviously, the baseball facility there is unbelievable, and he likes to play golf at 3 of the best golf courses around, Starkville Country Club, Old Waverly, it's just magnificent, and Mossy Oak Golf Club. He found out on hole number 2. That is so cool when he found out. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Carl Johnson, director of the sports book for the Beau Rivage at 9:30.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 9 a.m. and this ain't okay show. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
All aboard!
As Mississippi's #1 morning show rolls on the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
This show is flying by. Good morning. Welcome in. The Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Brought to you by the Purple Mattress from any of the Muskelly furniture stores or Muskelly sleep stores. The only Purple Grid. Groundbreaking, no pressure. Gel technology is the star of every Purple mattress. Don't forget that the new store is open in Starkville. Muskelly Furniture is now open in Starkville, Mississippi on Highway 12. Muskelly Furniture now open in Starkville on Highway 12. Carl Johnson will join us, director of the sports book for the Beau Rivage. MGM. Beau Rivage. Experience the action at BetMGM Book Bar and Grill, only at the Beau Rivage on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Bet it's pretty down there today. That sun, I just walked outside. That sunshine is nice. Good day to roll out to Fallen Oak and play 18 and then go to the sports book. What you got going on over there?
You think I need to give him a couple of free lessons or just let it ride?
I'd probably just let it ride.
That's probably
now.
smart, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll take your advice on that one.
Okay.
I mean, if I see the need to interject, maybe talk about an alternate line, why he needs to take plus 10,000 odds on a parlay, stuff like that.
Well, I think actually you do need to tell him that.
He'll
I can tell
thank
you
me.
this as director of the sports book, he loves parlays.
He's going to thank me. Yeah.
Kind of like Hopwood used to tell us with the Golden Moon Timeout Lounge.
Put him in.
Love them. What did they tell? What was the number? 64% of the bets
Our parlays.
were parlays.
Yeah, that makes sense, though, man. People are
Think
going to hit big.
that's- I wish I would have. I may have written it down, but I don't have it in front of me.
I think about it.
I mean, how many parlays have you taken over the years?
There.
Thousands?
I mean, there was a point we were taking hundreds a week.
Yeah.
I mean, literally hundreds. Because you literally fire them in and do round robins. You can do 8x8s and 16s by 16s. And
What's the biggest parlay you've ever hit?
18?
And how much did you win?
$438 off of $2.
Are you serious?
Yeah, all soccer. Crazy Saturday morning.
You bet $2 and made $438.
Yeah,
That's a nice ROI.
Heater. Never again.
You hit a soccer.
all soccer money lines, ties, over unders. Yeah. And then that was to start the day for football. And then I gave it all back casually.
This was during football season?
Yeah, this was peak, college. We just getting into it, just really getting our hands around it. We've been dabbling, but really getting into it and having a feel for actually how to gamble sports wise.
Were you a Bo Bounds Jackson Meadows on the show? Straight Funk. Were you all in college?
I was all into the money.
As far as betting?
Yeah, I mean, well, when I saw how much money you can make by just taking a couple of these things,
Right.
and telling me, hey, man, yeah, you want to place that bet? I'll float it.
Right. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, if you got 10 guys in a college campus who are betting together, how many of them are losing on a Saturday?
10.
Yeah,
Or at least 9.
At least, I mean, I'll get
Your
let's say they're
odds.
great 8.
Yeah, let's
8.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, which is
8 of 10 are losing.
all right. So you just cashed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the
Solidify.
conversations that I hear because I do a lot of shows at a sports book. And
Oh,
if y'all heard the conversations that I hear, it is fantastic.
they are.
They're together.
Yes.
These guys they've got their betting sheets,
Well, dude,
and
It's always like, it's always, especially when you have a group of them, there's always one guy who's in it, who's somewhat in it to win big. Always.
Yeah.
You always got one. He may have an 8-team parlay and you're looking at, 6 wins and you got 2 games left and he's going to lose.
Right.
I mean, he's going to lose, but you all have fun around that. If you got 10 guys, one of the guys doing like that, one guy usually wins and then everyone else loses drastically.
Right.
So why wouldn't you just sit there and, learn a little bit? I learned before I dove in.
You did.
First time in my life. Only time in my life.
So didn't you tell me that you used the Rain Man?
I did. Rain Man back from Memphis.
He hired me.
I can't believe that. Because I used that man back in 2012. That's when I first used him. 13. Because he was still humming. I mean, I can vividly remember logging on that website and being like, what in the world is this? Because he was the first handicapper we ever had. We had him and a guy named Tang. Tang.
Tang Hamilton?
I could be.
You remember him?
I don't. Who's that?
Tang Hamilton was a really good player at Lanier.
Really?
And Rick Stansberry signed him, and he played at Mississippi State.
Dang. Was he a part of all the Lanier boys that were down there at that time?
Yeah, it was when when Billups was
rolling.
Absolutely rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Provine had their magic. They had the trio. They all went to Ole Miss. But it kind of went from Murrah to Lanier,
right,
to Provine,
to Callaway.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Where Malik was. Yeah, it kind of.
I was before Malik now.
Yeah, Tang was.
That Wayne Brent had it rolling out there.
Wayne Brent had it rolling at Provine.
Yeah.
And then he went to Ole Miss with the trio.
That's right.
It was a package deal. And then.
Came back, right.
So, yeah, it kind of went from Murrah. Well.
They had
in the Metro, a little bit of Gulfport, Chris Jackson.
Now, Gulfport
then
had
Murrah,
some squads. They did.
Then Lanier, then Provine, then Callaway.
Who was the Northern? Was there ever a Northern staple? Was it Starkville for a couple years?
Well, they won it.
Yeah.
Under,
they had a guy.
Was it Greg Carter and his son?
Yes.
Because Carter's son played for.
His name Tyson? Carter?
Did he play for Ben Howland?
He did, because he was there my first stint.
Okay. All right. So I think maybe somewhere in there he played for Howland. He was a nice player. I mean,
right.
That's anytime you can play Power 5 period, that's unbelievable.
They had a kid named Latavius Williams go through there as a lefty.
Man, where did he sign?
I don't know. That's a great question. I thought for a while he was supposed to sign with Mississippi State, but did not. He was out of Starkville. Lefty. He was smooth.
So Greg was there. Greg was a player at Mississippi State. Then he was an assistant under Rick Stansberry, not Rick Ray.
He went straight. Wow.
He went to the NBA?
Latavius did, yeah. Latavius Williams went to the Tulsa 66ers in the D-League straight out of high school and then signed with the Heat.
Okay.
With the 48th pick. Wow, I did not realize that. 6'8".
Mac Hike Auto Group text line 601-885-3776. Yeah. Monte, obviously the best player to ever come out of Lanier.
Yeah.
But they had some good ones.
They did.
What it Ward that signed with Ward signed with Michigan? Right around that time, one prolific player went to Michigan, one went to Georgetown. Right, what was that? 90-something? One of the few, because Stansberry had started to get kids to come in. They had Monte, he just went to the NBA.
Right.
And
wish I'd have seen Travis.
Darius Rice. They thought they had Darius.
Come on, D. Rice.
And then he went down to South Beach. He told the story on the show, and he said, I couldn't say no.
That was a great story,
He just got
too.
Inducted into the Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame.
Sure did.
And I just texted him. He wants to come on the show, so we need to get him on.
He's great.
Yeah. Carl Johnson, director of the sports book, Bo Ravage, 930.